TNN coverage of IHRA Summit Drag Racing has been brought to you by Holly, the heart and soul of performance, and by CarQuest Auto Parts. You'll find it at CarQuest. IHRA Summit Drag Racing Screaming Eagle Nitro Harley Davidson. It's time to check out the bikes. Here are the overall standings. Johnny Mancuso, big victory at the Rock over Doug Vansel. He's your points leader. Mattioli, Romine, Turner are the top 5. Let's take a look at today's first round highlights. A bit of a surprise early this year, Doug Vansel going up against a guy who was last year's champion, Jay the Bulldog Turner. He's had some trouble early on in this season, and the trouble continues as Vansel takes out the Bulldog.
And Vansel does it with authority, a 6:52 with the 2, the quickest run of the weekend.
Anytime you go against a guy like Jay Turner on the Bulldog, you know, anything can happen.
You know, you can't win every race. You can always try, but, you know, I'd rather get hot at the end of the year anyway.
Race teams, as well as friends, come together for many reasons and in different ways. Jim McClure and Tony Mattioli have forged a friendship over time and solidified a race team through an unfortunate accident.
When you crash going at 180 miles an hour, it gets your attention big time.
After Jim got in his crash 6 weeks ago, he was looking for a rider, and he pretty much looked around to see who was available. He knew I had my own bike, so he thought maybe he would ask me to drive his bike, and I said yes immediately.
I've known Tony for a long time. We've done business for a long time, and figured Tony was the best one.
The best thing about working with Jim is he's an honest person, and that goes a long way with me. It's an honor. I'm going to learn a lot from him.
Earlier in the first round, Professor McClure had his pupil ready. He took on last week's winner, Johnny Mancuso. Here's their round 1 race. And it wasn't very pretty on either side. Just glad nobody had to get off the bikes and run, Bruno. And that set up the semifinals in the Nitro Harleys. Johnny Mancuso's teammate Steve Storter took on Tony Mattioli. And in the other bracket, Bob Malloy. This guy, Doug Vansel. And back to those semifinal highlights.
Bob Malloy taking on Doug Vansel. Vansel in the far lane. Bob Malloy goes red, handing the win over to Vansel. And Vansel needed that break because he had troubles himself. 10:21 as he limps down the racetrack.
And for the second week in a row, the guy from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Doug Vansel, has made his way to the final. In the other semifinal, it was Tony Mattioli and Steve Storter.
Steve Storter, a pupil of Johnny Mancuso. And Steve Storter lost the engine right there on the starting line. And Mattioli doing it for the judge going to the finals. 6:69 gives him lane choice.
I can't believe we're in the finals, the first time ever in the finals in the IHRA. Thanks to Jim McClure, of course, that's why I'm here.
What a sweet story for Tony Mattioli, and an equally sweet one for Doug Vansel. This will be quite a final, and let's go check it out. Here it comes, Screaming Eagle Nitro Harley Davidson final. Doug Vansel. He's got those pistons pounding in that chest right now, gives Mattioli the nod. What a little carnage. Get a whiff of that stuff, Bruno. Tony Mattioli, Doug Vansel, they're about ready to rock down that raceway.
Tony Mattioli getting pushed back behind the starting line. Mattioli trying to do this one for the judge. There's Doug Vansel trying to get the monkey off his back and complete what he couldn't finish in Rockingham. He wants to take it all here in Richmond.
They're even looking on from the AC Delco hot air balloon as the sentimental favorite, Tony Mattioli. Tries to do it for Jim McClure. This is McClure's home track. How sweet that would be to get a first ever win here in Richmond. And we're in this powerless time, and we're off. It looks like Doug Vansel with the hole shot. He's down. Something's wrong with Vansel, and Tony Mattioli comes on creeping. What a story, Mattioli, McClure, the team. They're going to take the first ever win for Tony Mattioli home.
Mattioli had his hands full with Doug Vansel. Vansel drilled him on the tree, was leading the race to the 1,000-foot mark, and something went wrong on Doug Vansel. Mattioli, the lucky man here today, pulls it out for McClure. I'll tell you, luck or no luck, a win's a win.
I'm ecstatic. I mean, I didn't expect to be here when we first got here, but that's drag racing. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Doug was out on me. I mean, he heard something, so I got by him, but I mean, we'll take it.
You'll take that to number 2 on the overall board, right behind the man Doug Vansel. Johnny Mancuso at number 3, Mike Romine at 4, Bob Malloy with 171 sits at number 5. There's Julie Vansel with a big hug for Tony Mattioli, and there he is, Jim McClure. What a team these guys have worked out to be.
Let's see if that good fortune can follow them the rest of the tour here in IHRA.
Good fortune followed Ronnie Hood today as he made his first ever final in the Pro Mods. Jim Hay backing things up as he was runner-up to Paul Romine in the Top Fuel Finals. There's Doug Vansel, 2 weeks in a row. Both runner-up. Still trying to find that first victory. Victorious was Tony Mattioli. First ever Ironman, kissing him on the butt. Hey, kiss him on the head, Mattioli. The judge is going to have to set him straight. Here's a guy that's straight 3-time overall champion. Got another win today, Paul Romine. And another new face to the winner's circle in the Pro Mod ranks. It was Mike Janet. Happy together. We're happy together here on TNN. James Bates, Bruno Maslin, Lisa Chalenza saying, see you next week. Next week, the IHRA heads north of the border, Grand Bend, Ontario. Litton has lost to Romine twice already this season and now trails in the points. Can he catch Romine? Pro Mods, the Stott brothers, Quayne and Mitch have begun quite a family feud. Whose performance will be affected? And who will eat his words? Doug Vansel, 2 finals, no wins. Will he get win number 1 next week as the IHRA says, oh, Canada?